stop.
Welcome to Juicebox Moms, episode 2. And we're all here together to be moms. We don't want you to do this alone. Yeah.
We're all moms of young kids, so if you have young kids, welcome. And we're just all nice and cozy today.
We are.
We have a bigger group today, which is super fun. The more moms, the merrier. And first, how was your week, you guys? Tell me about your week. I'll start. I have been up most of the week because my daughter she woke up in the middle of the night coughing, and I know some of you have experienced this, and it's like that kind of thing, and it was like, if you haven't had a kid with croup yet, you're probably going to Google and like find us and hear this episode because it was it's scary. Have you guys ever had that?
Similar, but not.
Stop, you have 5 children. They've never had croup?
Your
Is
kids
it like
are
the
never
Mexican
sick.
food you're making them? Like
They're never sick. Your kids are never sick.
Maybe it's the chili powder. For real, do you cook for them like really good?
I don't even eat chili though.
They don't use a microwave. That's it.
Chili.
We don't.
Okay, well guess what? My kids have all had croup, and mine, my sweet poor baby Cora, I took her in finally, and then the doctor's like, oh yeah, she has strep too. So in between
That's
bloody
rough.
noses, that it looks like a murder scene, and strep, and it's just been really sad. Really sad. Oh,
I'm trying to be able to see your guys' comments.
yeah, we're gonna
okay?
try, and we're not sideways this time. See, we
Hi,
learn every
Anna.
single time.
Hi, Sammy.
So, anybody else? Oh, but can I tell you, I'm so thankful. We just pray for her, and even people on Facebook prayed for her yesterday, and she slept through the night.
Yay!
With just a little bit of coughing. But I was doing the dishes last night just going, is that a cough? Is that a cough? You know how you get like that?
Yes.
And every single move they make, are you okay? Are you dying? Are you okay? Are you dying?
Are you bleeding? It's wrong.
I don't know how people do this without God, because I just pray a lot when they're sick. It's scary.
It's true.
Anybody else? Weeks?
I'm trying to think what I did. It was pretty chill week. A lot to do.
Come on, none of us really get out that much.
We
so
really
anything
don't.
we share is going to be pretty exciting.
I feel like at least with my kids,
Right.
I'm super grateful because Benny, like Preston's starting to smile and stuff like that. And so Bennett's like officially appreciating him, you know? And so it's just super sweet. So I'm super grateful because Bennett's also in like the three-nager age where he's like super, a lot of attitude. And so those moments of just like sweet serenity of like, your brother's smiling.
Yeah.
And I'm smiling too. As simple as that. It's
Yeah.
nice.
And people say 2 is bad. 3 is totally worse. You guys don't listen to that crap.
Yeah.
3 is totally No, but like good. We're
Yes.
trying to be positive, but all the things that are hard in 2 are just solidified in 3.
Oh, absolutely.
Even potty training when they don't potty train.
But 4, it's all good, right?
Yeah, it's totally easy. No problem.
Oh no.
Did everybody shower here?
Yes.
I
I brushed
did.
my teeth. My alarm didn't go off, so it's a miracle.
That was my worst fear. I woke up like,
You know how you wake up when you're like, what time is it? What time is it? And I'm like, it's 4. Okay, it's 5. It's 6. So I'm so afraid of you guys be calling me at like 7:30.
I just want you to know, Kelly has eyeliner on and mascara. So she
I
wins
all day.
the Amazing Mom Award.
I don't leave the
She
house
did.
without mascara.
They came in here and I didn't even have my pants on. So I'm like, I'm coming! I'm sorry! I just got the kids out for school!
I have to wear mascara. I don't have like you have like dark eyelashes.
We're far away, they can't see me.
That's
so.
true. Totally.
Roxanne, how's your week?
My week?
Yeah.
It was pretty busy and
Why?
a lot of work.
Why? What do you have going? How many kids do you have?
Yeah,
I
right?
have 5 kids.
Tell us how old they are.
They're 12, 10, 7, 3, and 18 months.
You guys,
Wow.
she has a 12-year-old and an 18-month-old?
Yes.
Too. Yeah, no, 18-month-old.
And the 12-year-old does not change diapers.
No.
So is that was that a, whoa, like any of them, or was it all just,
The 18 months
Let's do it.
for sure was a whoa. And Elizabeth was 9 months old when I got pregnant with Anna. So,
wow.
but we love her. We love her.
Oh, good.
We do.
Okay, if you're listening, your mother loves you.
They're gonna keep
good
her.
to know.
We always tell her that we named her Anna because God's grace to us.
Oh, that's good. That's so spiritual. Today I probably should have led off with this. This isn't just a stocking today. We do have a topic. It's expectations. What were your expectations of motherhood? And actually, you guys sent in a lot of really good ones. One was, I thought, this was for my good friend Jess, I thought I'd have this little floppy haired brunette that would just follow me around with matching aprons and we just bake all day, and that's not what happened. She had an amazing daughter, but Allie's got the tude and always kept Jess on her toes, and we always have these expectations of what we think it will be like, and some of those things are true, but other things are just straight up, I don't know where we got it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know where we got it. So I know a lot of you have had expectations of what you thought it would be like. And actually, if you even want to jot those down, we'd love to hear from you right now. So,
I'll be watching.
we're actually looking at the comments today, not from far away. Anybody else have any exciting things you want to share? Any trips to the store we need to hear about? Tantrums? Mommy, I love
Our new thing is Naya it really is interested in how Susanna works and how far she can push her. Or-
like actually push her?
that too.
Okay.
Yeah, before she falls over and hits her head on the concrete. And it's not like she's being mean, so it's very hard to curb that and discipline because she's not being mean. She's,
Are you sure?
No.
Are you sure of anything?
It's literally like
Not sure.
you watch her
Too
and she's like,
overshisty.
how far can she go without falling over? And I don't know how many times poor Susanna's hit her head on our concrete tile floor.
Has anyone out there ever had their kid hit their head on concrete? Raise your hand. So many times.
Oh, yeah.
I'm amazed at how God made their skull to just withstand.
It's
a
so
certain
It's
amount of
really
stress.
hard to keep alive the first child, but it's even harder to keep alive the second child
absolutely.
because you have a first child working against you.
What about the fifth kid?
Yeah.
Roxana, what
About
about
the fifth kid.
That's when it gets easy.
Yeah, well, the 12-year-old's not gonna go see how far they can push their little sister over.
I don't know about that. My sister, if you're watching, feel like you pushed me pretty far. So
That's why you're so street smart and don't mess with Carrie. We were just saying before we started that Carrie's the one that we would not want to mess with in an alley. And then Roxana got a little offended because she thinks she's more ghetto than Carrie. We might have to have a ghetto, who's more ghetto competition. Kelly was more upscale ghetto. I don't know what that means yet.
Solo.
I just showed off. I wouldn't want to mess with you in a cat fight. That's what we just. I would like to see this though match up. I could see-
Kelly.
right? Like,
I don't know, that might get uncomfortable.
I were, but
Hannah said, "Who hasn't had a kid hit their head?" So
right. And I don't.
thanks
know.
for affirming that for us,
Yeah.
Hannah. It's not just us.
And Kelly,
Yes.
how many, and what age?
Well, I just
Is-
have one. I know.
Don't say Jess. Don't say
I
Jess.
know.
You're in a tough stage too because one is hard.
One is
Yes.
hard.
It
Yeah.
is because you don't know.
Because
what
you
you're
don't
doing.
know anything.
And they don't have a play buddy.
Yeah,
all you.
it's all me. Yeah. He's way more chill with dad. Like with dad, he'll just sit and play with like his trucks and they'll like watch football. But me, he's like, Mom, let's do. You want to play with trucks with me and read a book with me. And I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's
You're so demanding.
But
You
like,
want to play with you?
which I love.
No, I
don't
know.
get
You're
me
so
wrong.
good at it.
But like, I'll come down and they're just chilling downstairs, and I'm like, what did you do? How'd you make him do that?
Dudes can do that.
It's so true. They're just so, and then me
And then you
wants
walk through the room and they start screaming.
Yes. See, and,
And
Chris is
feeding.
like, yes. He goes to the
Feeding.
snack cupboard. And he goes more. And I'm like, Chris, is he not eating? Yeah, he's eating, but
He
No,
knows.
it's like the weakest link.
Where the food comes from.
He knows
Yes.
I like snacks, so like, you know, we just bond over snacks, I guess.
Don't we all?
Yes.
He's
Well-
like, Mom eats all day, so.
That's true. I don't know where they get that from. I know I'm like sneaking chocolates. What's that? It's a raisin. You don't want it.
So true. Already.
We tell our kids everything has chili in it, so they don't want it.
That's hilarious.
But then they know Skittles at 3 years is sweet, so it's like
Chili.
we can't lie anymore. We shouldn't be lying.
They're,
Benny-
they're
Benny
spicy
calls-
Skittles.
Benny calls spicy. He says it's saucy.
That's sassy.
Yeah, it's really cute.
Cora's gonna have to watch out for Benny.
Yeah.
Just saying.
He's a cutie.
It's so true.
So, Roxana, you have a 12-year-old. None of us have reached that point yet. Can you? And you have a little. So can you tell us what some of your expectations were of motherhood when you first brought, what's your oldest name again?
Bernice.
Who's the
Bernice
sweetest?
is so awesome, by the way.
She
So
is.
we're interviewing someone who's got it down
Absolutely.
on the girl
so
thing.
true.
If you want a sweet, sweet girl, talk to Roxanne. Okay.
If my husband were watching this, he would be. Last night we had that first teen
Were you
movement.
fighting? Get real. Are you fighting?
No, she didn't tell me she was going to cross country meet, and I waited 2 hours at school for her, and we were like literally gonna call the cops because I didn't know where she was at.
I
And
just got the chills.
Ugh.
It's like worth it.
and then she just comes and she's like, "Hi, mom," and I'm like,
What did you do? What did you do?
I was crying, like I just didn't know
It's
what
like
to
you're
do anymore.
relieved, but you're so
crying
mad. So
too.
it's like,
And then
I'm
like
glad to see you.
doing Bible study this week, and you know they were asking about Abraham like sacrificing their son, you know, just.
So you're like, Lord, this is
Yeah.
it. You've asked me.
Lord, you want her?
But it was like
Stupid Bible study.
it was just like, oh my gosh, like God, like I really do love my child, but then at the same time, I have my husband calling me and like telling me like you gotta like do something, and
That's so hard.
But-
That was yesterday?
last night, yeah, and but she's really good. I'm like, I know we were talking about expectations, and I was so young when I had her.
How old were you?
I was 18. So
How much did you know about, like, had you grown up with kids? Were you pretty familiar with babies and, like, this is what you do with them?
so my mom only had 2 kids, and we are nothing alike, me and my brother. So, but I did grow up in church, and always like, we didn't grow up in a church like we do now, like we have nursery and stuff. But it was like I was always in the nursery, always watching babies, carrying them around, and I really didn't have like little cousins to watch either. But when I started, you know, I got married and we found out we were pregnant, I just read all these books, and
You a book
you know,
reader?
yes. So I
See,
just read
I like
all
having
these.
friends like you, because I don't read the books. I make friends who read the books, and then I ask
I read them
what
all.
they're about.
I'm reading like 7 right now. So.
I have not read one book. I just say, what did you
Really? You seem like a book reader.
I am a book reader. I like reading like Lord of the Rings, not How to Parent a Child. I just make friends and then they tell me what they learned.
No, I read even like, you know, what to expect when
Oh,
you're
yeah.
expecting, you know,
Oh,
the
wow,
first
yeah.
year, you know.
Was it helpful?
No.
Okay.
No, nothing
So
like
you
my.
expected moms to want to know everything about motherhood.
The pregnancy book was kind of helpful.
Yeah, but you know, at the same time, it's like you would call your doctor and they would tell you like
It's true.
the opposite
It's
of
true.
what the book is telling you. Like,
It's
you're
true.
feeling
That's
Okay,
true.
so what books did you read that you were like, yes, this is what
Oh my god.
I literally read every book under the
helpful?
sun.
Helpful?
Yeah, like there was a
Good for
couple like Baby Wise and The Happiest Baby on the Block were really good for babies. And then I read What to Expect. I read so many books. So
It's kind of the last time you can read a book.
it's so true.
Yes,
for
It's
a
so
couple
true.
years,
So
It
part
is.
of it where it's like, okay,
Everything.
here's 7 months and this is what to expect. So you kind of get little tidbits, you know, but again, every pregnancy is different, every child's different.
Did
so.
they tell you what to do if your son started breathing weird?
Yeah, they said call 911.
So let's just take a break out. We're gonna, I think, have a segment every single time where we get to share a funny mom story. And Kelly, you didn't know this, but will you share your funny mom story with
Oh
us,
my gosh.
please? So can I just
Okay.
preface it for you, because I've heard this a couple times.
Yeah.
It is really the best story I've ever heard.
Well, Chris tells it really good.
He does. Her husband's hilarious too. They're both funny. No, I forgot. No, you do it.
Okay, so
New baby. How old?
new baby. He was like 3. No, okay, so we were in the hospital for like what 4 days. So he was probably like a week old maybe, and then
So if you have a week old baby, you've never had one before, it's scary. You like
it's so
watch-
scary, and
you're
you don't
watching them
sleep.
breathe. Who
at
watched?
all.
Do you watch
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
children breathe? Yeah.
Oh, I still do. I'm like,
The mirror by the.
yeah.
21.
I'm gonna be that mom. I'm gonna be like swaddling my 16-year-old and be like,
Call his wife.
call his wife. Is he breathing? Okay. No, I won't be that mom. No. So anyway, so James wakes up and he's like kind of doing this thing and kind of trying to cry, but you know, I'm like, what's going on? Mind you, like maybe an hour of sleep because kid wouldn't breastfeed and you name it. So he's doing this thing and Chris and I are like, okay, like, is this normal? Like, yeah, okay, hold on. And so he's kind of like,
Did you start Googling?
Not at that point.
Can I just say
Which
something?
I've
If
done
you
a
have
lot
any
of that
words,
since.
just
Don't Google
Don't
ever.
Google ever.
Because your kid either has cancer or they're teething every time. So
Yes.
like, so he's kind of like not purple, but you know, okay, let's call a pediatrician. Call a pediatrician. Like, put us right through to the doctor. And he's this older gentleman, and he's like, okay, well, is he in distress? And we're like, yeah, I mean, he's stressed. I think he's stressed out. Like,
We're stressed.
yeah. And we're like, we've only had this thing for like a week. I don't know if he's stressed or if he's just, you know. So, and then he said, is he pulling at the ribs? And I'm like, Chris, is he pulling at the ribs? And Chris is like, what does that mean? I'm like, I don't know. I'm on the phone. I can't Google it right now. So we're like, we don't know. And he said, is he in distress? And we're like, oh my gosh. And then the doctor goes, okay, hang up and dial 911. And Chris and I are like, are you sure? Because, I mean, he's alive. And hang up and dial 911. So, you know, we hang up and we're like.
Was it like your life in slow motion?
It literally, because no one really thinks you ever have to dial 911.
Oh,
So then literally I'm like, beep, beep, beep. Like, so awkward. And we're like, our baby's in distress.
So the paramedics come in.
Oh, yeah.
They take one look at James and say,
Oh, yeah.
what do
They
they
go,
say?
you new parents?
You need parents?
So the kid comes up and he's probably like 22. He goes, I'm going to show you how to burp your baby.
How to birth a baby.
Oh no.
And mind you, by the time they got there, he was fine. He was totally fine. The guy leaps off the fire truck, comes running.
With a gurney?
The fire truck comes around to park, and they have the gurney, the crash cart, you know, yeah.
All the neighbors are
All the neighbors are out. They're like, oh yeah.
So
And-
you paid for a burping lesson.
Yeah, no, they never even charged us. Don't charge us if you're watching. But
Oh.
I guess you can call 911 for free.
Yeah, burping lessons, you guys. No,
First one is free.
So the other guys come running up, and the kid, he goes, first time parents, and they all go, oh, okay, cool. So then they like took his temperature, and I'm like, please just let him have a fever or something. Like, no,
Nothing.
he's great. He's just the happiest baby. I'm like, well, the doctor told us to call you, but
That's amazing. That's just one of, you guys, this is why we need a community. Because now she just texts me.
I
and says,
do. James just threw up all over the house.
and I'm like, it's cool. This is what you do. So,
yeah.
I text Becca and go.
So true. Is this normal?
I say, well, I read in a book.
I read it in a book, and it's true. She's my reading a book friend.
Because the thing is, when you do call the doctor, the after hours, not that I do that, but I do, they do tell you to bring him in.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like a cat to the vet, you know, like, we'll just bring him in. It's like, well, or a dog, you know.
I think we are going to have a whole, actually, after this week of wondering if she's going to be okay. My baby had never been this sick before. I've never had any kid this sick before. And it's made me think, okay, we really need to do an episode just on, we want to have a pediatrician here because I have a couple of pediatrician friends. So it'd be fun. We can just ask anything. But I do think there's a lot of collective wisdom just getting moms together. I know I put it out there on Facebook, and there were so many moms who gave me really, really helpful things. I went to Target and spent $100, but all of them were very, very helpful. And I think when you're alone, you don't know those things. Like, I didn't know to get popsicles for Croup and stick their head in the freezer. That was a new one, right? Yeah. So I thought, you know, we need each other. We need to be able to put those things out there. So
By the
give a
way,
thumbs up if you want that episode.
hi Sydney, hi Vicky, hi Kim, hi Ryan and Joel, because you're watching.
Joel's like, when can I come
Are they in
home?
the line? He's in the drop-off line right now.
Sammy did ask, how did you and your husband know when you wanted to start a family? I feel like that could be like an episode of itself.
Yeah.
So Sammy, thank you for that idea. We will get back to you on that. Is that
One
cool?
person answered.
Okay,
How did
one
you
person.
know?
I did it.
You took a pregnancy test.
I feel like guys are ready, like, let's do it. And then you're, at least with me, and I was like, whoa, pump the brakes.
I think we had just gotten married, so we were like planning, like I was in college, and we were planning, and then it just happened, and it's like, what happened? Like all my dreams. Yeah,
This is why it is really good
To have a plan.
to get married. Honestly, like I know the big thing right now is living together, but getting married means that there's this like safety net
Yeah,
in where you can have
absolutely.
kids because
They're not going anywhere.
It's so, and you're so like gross and fat and ugly when you're pregnant. It's nice to know that
so
person's
true.
gonna stay there. So,
So
I'll answer. I knew because I got married later, so I knew that if I wanted to have kids, I needed to just start talking about. So after we graduated with our master's degree, it was like, okay, so let's have kids. So everybody's different.
Yeah, we waited 4 years, and we felt like we were ready. I don't know why, but we just.
Well, your husband wasn't in Afghanistan.
Yeah,
anymore,
he wasn't
which
in
was helpful.
Afghanistan anymore. Yeah,
That does help.
Yeah,
to
we
get
had
pregnant.
like a year and a half by our almost 2 years actually, like to do us like as a married couple actually together. So I mean, we felt ready at that point. So.
In fact, if you ever want to know how to like plan stuff, talk to this one right here. She's like, I think I'm gonna have a baby in March, so I'm gonna do it this way, and then I'm gonna have a baby.
And I want a girl, so we're gonna do it at 4
seriously,
o'clock on a
I'm saying
Tuesday.
this because I have some serious respect for you, and it's amazing.
It's not that bad.
Ryan also said that getting married has amazing tax benefits. So.
Oh, yeah. That's my husband.
It's true.
Okay, should we get down
Yes.
to expectations?
I have a doctor's appointment.
Oh, okay, so we gotta get going, people. Okay, Roxana, again, I want to ask you. So you had maybe top 2 expectations you thought this is what motherhood's going to be like, and how did it pan out for you? And then I want to hear from everybody. What were all of our?
Yeah, I think it was like. Well, I think one of my biggest expectations that I prepared so much with Bernice was feeding. Like, what am I going to give her to eat so she's not picky? So we did like, the fruits, nothing but fruits. And then, like a year, when she's a year, we're going to introduce fruits. This girl's picky, the worst. So,
Come on,
Really?
Grace.
but I still love her.
And she's still
We
picky.
love her. Grace, we love you.
Picky is your son? Your son
Yes.
is the pickiest child I've ever met.
Yes, no,
He
she's
doesn't like
still picky.
pizza.
No, my son doesn't
Enough
eat pizza, chocolate, ice cream.
They know each other.
It's
It's cool.
Those are all the things you don't want them to eat.
Yeah, I know.
Except
Yeah,
when
right.
you need them to eat pizza because you didn't.
Do they like green beans?
So can I say, so you had planned, I'm gonna, cause I can relate to that. I'm gonna plan and I'm gonna have them feed them this way, but actually a lot of that's just determined by personality. I know I did, I thought with my kids, same thing. And I have one that'll eat steak and, I don't know, oysters. And the other one will like eat crackers pretty much and peanut butter. So it,
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
so don't, yeah.
I think the feeding thing was like the big thing for me. Like, I was always told, like, you have to strictly breastfeed because your kid's always going to be sick and your kid's always going to, like, you just got to breastfeed. And I could not breastfeed Bernice. So that was the biggest thing for me. Like,
You had some stuff breastfeeding
Oh,
too,
yeah.
right? Like
Every
really
year
hard.
she went through the same.
and she has never been sick or anything, but.
So you're saying is don't have guilt over that stuff?
Yes.
No. And I think that with time, like with each kid, I noticed like people just kind of. I get when older women want to pour that. I take everything from them, but it was just let me learn on my own. I think I was very young, and I wanted even just like telling my mom and my grandma and my mother-in-law, like this is my baby. I want to make my own family. I know you raised perfectly good kids because we're still here, but I wanted to know, and that's why I researched. I tried, at the beginning it was very stressful for me because I had so many expectations that I just couldn't, like you said earlier, I wanted to go to the park, I was like, I would look up the public library, like the playtimes, and I had everything scheduled, and then it got to a point where it's like, oh, I gotta work.
Yeah.
And then I just felt so bad because I wasn't there to see her walk for the first time. I wasn't there to see her first tooth come out.
And then the second, third, fourth, fifth, now your time is divided, right? And so I know I felt really bad even having my second one. We talked about this.
Yeah.
Did you have this too? Where as like in the hospital, I was like, I actually feel guilty for having a second child because you spent all this time. What was your experience with that?
It was when I brought her home, and then Naya just had a rough time accepting the sharing of the parents. She never was mad at Susanna, but she acted out towards us, and I was like, I ruined her. I'll never get my sweet baby.
The power they
She
have
hates me
is
now.
like Unbelievable. And she doesn't hate you because now
And for
you're
a few
creating
weeks, she did.
her best
She
friend.
really, really did. But now, yeah.
My favorite was
couldn't
when she
live without
started.
Susanna.
I made
She
that
started
for you.
blaming the newborn baby for things. It was
Oh,
the best.
we
She
get that
started
all the
blaming
time.
like the 2-week-old baby. No, that she drew on the box.
Oh yeah. I think that
Or
was
trying to feed her goldfish.
Oh yeah. Oh, and
That's
like
stressful.
yeah.
Digging soggy goldfish
Oh.
out of her.
gross.
That is
40
so
years now.
stressful.
Oh gosh.
I can't even imagine.
Just because I had to go to the bathroom. So.
Yeah. How dare you?
Going to the bathroom is a luxury.
The
If
first
you
one
have not
is
figured
leave
this
on the
out
couch,
yet.
you know, and come back and they're still on the couch.
Right?
And the second one, don't put the second one on the couch. Take the second one with you.
Thankfully, my boys just weren't interested. They were just like, baby.
I was gonna say
Maybe
maybe
some
that's
Legos.
more of a boy thing because I'll put Preston on the couch because he can't roll over yet, and luckily, for right now,
He's just not.
he hasn't been too
Interesting.
interested.
Girls are very
It
nurturing.
is.
It's more when I'm there.
Yeah, Joel was like, when Ezekiel was
Yeah.
born, but Elizabeth is like, I'm like, the other day, I don't know if I guys told you, but my husband was watching them and they broke 18 eggs under our table.
Under the table.
In 5 minutes.
Do you
And
have a
that's-
carpet under there?
No, it was tile. But my husband said he would hear stuff, and then Anna walks in and she has eggs in her hands. And we tell
You win. You know what? We're gonna have a segment from here on out where I'm gonna have a gold star, like an actual gold star, and I'm just gonna put it on whoever has the best mom story.
So you get the gold star.
Do you think she wins, you guys? I mean,
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
pretty.
5 kids?
18 eggs.
Yeah, and she blamed it on Hannah.
Okay.
See, I love it.
What time is it?
It's 8.
It's 8. Oh, we are way going over.
Yeah.
Okay. Becca has a doctor's appointment, real life, right here. And what? Do you want to tell us where you're going?
Yes. It's not for me, it's for them.
I know. Do you want to
Your
say baby?
expectation?
Sure, I'll say my expectations.
Yeah, that
and
way
then
we
I
don't
have
miss
to
it.
skedaddle.
And how did they pan out?
My expectations. So, I grew up, my mom, watching my mom, she gave up a career in nursing and poured her heart and soul into raising us, homeschool, whole 9 yards. And
In Japan.
in Japan, missionary wife. So I appreciated that and I liked that and I wanted to be that. And then I was the oldest of 4, was 7 years apart from my youngest, so I was kind of like a second mom in a way to her. And then I babysat all through junior high, high school, college, and I was really good at babysitting and I liked it. So it kind of instilled in me this expectation of I'm going to be a really good mom. I'm going to be a great wife, a good mom.
Like, I am so good with kids.
I'm
That
really
kind
good.
of-
Yeah.
yeah.
And my kids are always going to obey and always be clean and always and always and always.
Is it like that?
And so I basically teaching English was like a way to use my talents and gifts to serve the Lord until my real job came along. But when my real job did come along, it was a bit of a shocker. I had, I think I struggled with postpartum issues and then just realizing like, yeah, you can babysit because the parents come home and take their kids and you get to sleep.
So
all night
true.
long and go to the
Postpartum.
bathroom and shower. And,
We'll have a whole thing on this too, postpartum,
Yeah.
but tell people what that is real quick. So they
It was never
I didn't know what that was.
like completely formally diagnosed, but I think it was definitely what it was. But just
Is it like hormonal, kind of
hormonal
being down, and
depression,
stuff?
not feeling yourself, anxiety, and it took a good 6 months to a year. I would say 6 months was like 50% gone, and in a year I was like, okay, I'm me again, you know.
Was that kind of a lonely?
It was lonely. I felt guilty.
Because you thought I should be feeling.
Yeah, because
Hearing
this is
Mary
my,
Poppins
I've
soundtrack
gotten
all the
my
time.
dream.
Yeah.
The Lord has given me everything I asked for, a good husband and a kid, and I get to stay home, which was what I always wanted, but now I'm missing the affirmation I got from my students of you're a great teacher and we're so thankful for you. And now I have this little person that's like, I'm serving 100% of my time with, and they don't say, oh, thank you, Mom, you're so great, you know?
If you have not gotten a thank you from your little in years, it's okay. They will.
She's 2
Rise up
and a
and
half.
be
She's almost
blessed
3 now,
later.
and every once in a while she's like, "Thank you, Mom, for making it better." And I'm like, "You're
Doesn't it melt
welcome."
your entire world?
Yes.
I've been working for you to say that for so many
I
years.
didn't even ask you to say thank you. Yeah, so you'll get there. So those were my expectations of. I just thought I would love every minute of it, and I didn't love every minute of it, so I felt guilty.
And are you saying it's okay to not love every minute of it.
It's okay, and I think if you can become okay with not being in love with every minute of it and give yourself a break, then you'll love the minutes that you love even more.
They'll become more meaningful.
Yeah.
There is that pressure to just be like all the time.
Like,
and
who
feeling
really
that,
does
and we
love not sleeping
don't.
for more than 3 hours at a time for months?
Yeah.
Like, you can't
Or you're
you can't say, I
you're
love
feeling
that,
like
you know?
someone's like got a piranha.
Yeah, so if you can give yourself a break on not loving those moments, you just interact better with your husband, you interact better with your kids, you interact better with yourself in your head, and then you can enjoy the little moments that are nice.
Yeah, that's so good. And if you have to peace out at any point, get your baby where she needs to go. Anybody else want to share like an expectation, something that?
I'll share mine. Mine's kind of like in a way similar to Becca's, but
Bye,
Becca.
Say bye, Becca.
I don't want to. But I think too, I grew up with a full-time working mom. So my expectation of being a mom was full-time working mom. You provide for your family, you put food on the table, all that good stuff, which is amazing. You know, it's awesome. But then I became a mom, and I'm working as a special education teacher, and I love it. But then I come home, and I'm like, I got to give full force to my kid now, and that's a lot of work. And just felt like I couldn't have it all, in a sense. Like I wanted it all, and I couldn't have it all. And
Don't you feel like that's a message we hear all the time?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can be 100% this and 100% this,
But
and
you
100% this, and it's like, how do you?
no, you can't.
So how did you deal with that? Coming home after the day and you're tired.
I think like the moral of my expectations was the Lord was just saying, okay, Kira, you can't have it all, but you can make the best of what you have. And so it was, okay, when you get home from work, you're going to pour into your son as much as you physically can, because that's what you want to do. And so that's what I would try to do. And now I'm a stay-at-home mom, Lord willing, you know, has been allowing me to be a stay-at-home mom. And where do we go? And now I feel like I miss the special education part of it. You know, obviously I love being a stay-at-home mom, but I miss the special education part of it. And so
You always miss something.
yeah, you always miss something, but
Yeah.
the Lord works that out. I mean, I have new desires that I'm writing about, you know, special education and the church and different things like that.
You guys,
And so
this lady is super talented. She's like developing a curriculum for in church ministry, right? For special needs kids,
yeah, I'm trying to.
which is really cool. I think that's a real need.
Yeah.
Special needs.
But at the same time, so the Lord's worked that out. I mean, I'm able to be a stay-at-home mom. I'm also able to kind of use some of those desires, but I kind of had to like choose to do that. I could have just been bitter about not being a special education teacher, as well as a mom, or I could use my gifts
Yeah.
in a different way. If that makes sense.
Mhm.
So I feel like the Lord's like, work it out, Carrie. Like, I'm here. I'm with you. You don't have it all, but you can use what you have.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, that's really good.
Yeah, it's more of my expectations.
Kelly girl. Can I just tell them first? When I first met you, Kelly is like teacher to like the innermost part of her soul.
Yes.
And like she's like sparkle queen and all
I
pink.
do love sparkles.
But now you gave up the full time.
Yes.
You felt like you needed to do that. And that's not for everybody. You know, I
No.
think that's important to remember. We all go through seasons. Sometimes if you're working full time and you wish you could stay home with your kids, and then
Mhm.
there's other times where you're staying home with your kids, you're like, man, I wish I just had something on the side.
Yeah.
Right.
So I hope you hear from us. Like, we know that everybody is in a different financial situation too, and everybody has different things. But for you, you felt like you and Chris were in a place to where you could do
Yeah, so teaching is like my first love, the love of my life. I still have like this empty spot in my heart. Like I can't drive by an elementary school without feeling sad. Like I miss it so much. But all that to say, God bless teachers who are moms, or I mean full-time
Yeah.
workers who are moms. Like
Yeah.
I don't think I could do it well. So I think I was a good teacher because I devoted all my whole
You're an
life.
all or nothing.
Yeah.
So it's good to know your personality.
It
too.
meant a lot to my husband for me to stay at home. So, you know, and I'm grateful. I love being a mommy. I wouldn't change it for anything.
Yeah.
But it doesn't change the fact that I miss.
So what did that do for your identity? Because I know
It's
connected
hard
to
because
expectations is the identity.
You
lose
do.
from
Your
yourself.
identity as a teacher, and when you're good at it, you do. You get praise from your kids and your colleagues, and you have like your teacher friends and like, you know, that all just goes away. But and your husbands are great, but they're not the principal. They're not looking at test scores and being like, you're amazing, you know. They're like, good job keeping your son alive and the house looks good. But you know, it's just.
And for some reason, that doesn't seem as amazing,
Yeah.
but it is. Like,
It
we're
does.
keeping these little children alive, and we're feeding them daily.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been there.
So
Have you eaten lunch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
so true. So yeah, it was definitely like a shock to become a full-time mom, but it's a blessing. Like my husband works insanely hard, extra hours just so we can make it work. But I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
But I will go back to teaching one day.
Yeah, same.
Yes.
It's okay, and that's okay. One
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
One day.
We should probably.
I know, we need to wrap it up. I do want to say one thing. I was going to share something else, but actually the thing that I thought was that my kids would come a little bit more pre-programmed than they were. I thought, you know, there'd be some like goodness, some gratefulness, all of these virtues that, you know, we have. I was just thinking that there would be some of that in there. And actually, maybe this is just my experience, but there is like nothing pre-programmed except poop, pee, smile. And usually it's because they're tooting or like,
Yeah.
you know,
Something bad.
yeah, just doing something like that. And so I was just really surprised. And this sounds so funny now. I was surprised I had to parent. Really? I mean, I thought they would be pre-programmed to do more things. And I thought I'd be more capable. I'm a pretty like high capacity person. I'm like, let's do these 10 things all at once and like juggle them. I love that stuff. And I thought I could do that with my kids, but it like when I brought this baby home, I like could barely shower.
Yeah.
So this high capacity identity that I had, actually the Lord used children to be like, actually, I'm gonna make you stink and you're barely gonna be able to feed yourself and you might make it outside in the next 2 months. Granted, that gets easier, you guys, right?
Yes.
It does.
With every kid, it does get easier. It gets easier. But it's a very humbling. Would you agree mothering is a very humbling?
Right, definitely.
I never knew how much sacrifice was involved, but then you get it all back eventually.
Yeah.
This morning, for the first time, my son left for school, and I said, I love you. I say it every morning. I love you. Be kind. And he goes, oh, I love you too, Mom. And I'm like, like he's not my emotional. He doesn't
Right.
communicate that way, and so they do eventually get it.
Yeah.
Right? Right? Bernice gets it. Joel,
Yeah,
they get it.
every time I drop them off, I roll down the window and I'm
Make
like,
good choices.
Why? I
Make
love you.
good choices.
I love you. And she's like, and then now she's like,
Oh, you got the wave.
Yeah.
They hear it, and they need to hear it. Even if they're
They
like, Mom,
do.
you're so lame.
They
do need to hear it.
totally do.
and like everyone tells her like, I wish I had a mom like you, and like her friends call me like Mom Roxana, and so I'm like, you need to appreciate, you know.
She will. I didn't appreciate it until I was older.
You know, I was
Yeah.
such a good daughter that I just expected
You
my
assumed
daughter.
that was one of yours
Yes.
too? You're gonna be awesome. Obey all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When I was your age.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming. This is such a early time, and you guys all came put together.
Sorry we went so long. We'll get
Sorry,
better
I
at
know.
this.
We're excited. to see
Also,
that.
Kim, I want to hear this like kitchen egg thing that you said.
What
Sam
what
threw
happened?
eggs like balls throughout their kitchen.
No, he didn't.
And she's like, "How's that for an Easter egg hunt?" That's
was it on Easter, Kim?
I don't know. We'll have to see if she responds. But I just thought that was awesome.
Is
And-
Sam 3?
I think so.
Such a
No,
3-year-old.
he's a preschool.
It is.
Yeah.
Those 3-year-olds are playing.
Yeah.
Oh, you're terrifying. I'm like 22 months is tough.
And Elizabeth, James follows Elizabeth.
I know, because he came home the other day going, no,
Elizabeth has taught James to say no.
That's
Yeah.
He doesn't know what it means.
They'll
yet.
learn it. They'll learn it from somewhere.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well, hey, one of the things that always keeps us going and functional is our faith. Gosh, that sounds so lame, but our faith in Christ. And if you're watching this and you're like, I don't know anything about that, I would encourage you to look into it. We, especially the last 2 nights when I'm like, can you breathe? Are you gonna make it? Like those kind of feelings that you have. If I didn't have a God that I could just say, I'm gonna give you these feelings and I'm gonna trust you, I honestly don't know how I would make it for motherhood.
It's true.
So, we want to pray for you guys right now because we all need prayer. So, Roxana, would you like to pray?
Sure. Just like in general.
Yeah, like let's pray for all the moms and momdom and dads who are watching.
And momdom.
Hashtag Dorless Kids.
Dear Lord Jesus, we just come to you. First of all, just giving you thanks for allowing us to just be moms, and we know your grace goes more than beyond what we expected. And I just pray for those moms here and those moms out there, that you just give us the wisdom and the patience, Lord, just to watch these little humans that you have given us. One thing that I've learned throughout my years of just being a mom is you created these little humans at your image, and they were created by you, and they're a gift from you to us. So we want to take care of what you have given us with so much care and so much wisdom, that they grow up to just love you and to follow you. And those babies that are sick out there, Lord, that we just, just give them that peace, that wisdom. Cora, wherever she is dealing with today, we ask you to heal her, but just to give Becca that patience and that love for that baby. And we thank you for each and every one of our kids. We know you have put them in our lives just to kind of keep and guide with you and just keep our path straight to you, because without you, like Becca has said, I don't know where we would be in motherhood right now. So we thank you for that, and we pray this in your name, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Roxana. And before we go, I want to make sure that you guys know we'll be posting all our episodes on
YouTube.
YouTube. We have a YouTube channel, Juicebox Moms. There is another one that's similar.
Yeah. It's not us.
It's not us.
We have 2 episodes. And also on www.juiceboxpress.com, I'll be listing all of the episodes under Juicebox Moms. And also, I want to share a resource once a week. I have yours, but let me do that next week. Okay. The one I want to talk about today is called Jelly Telly, JELLYTELLY. And it's amazing. It's something you can subscribe to, but if you're like us and we don't have that extra money right now, we do it on YouTube. So they're just these 5-minute devotionals. They're really great. My kids think they're hilarious, and they have built-in questions for parents. So we watch it with our kids, and we talk about it. And, we try and get really deep with the questions. They're not into it, but they're still getting it, and they're still learning about God, and it's really, really, really well done. And so I would say check that out. That's under our Parent Picks section on the website. So visit that, and you got to do your
Juicebox Moms out.
bye, you guys. You get it?
Which button?
I don't know. So
I'm finished.